Stark, we need a plan of attack. I have a plan. Attack.
Hi guys, Angreifer here, and this is a Marvel Future Revolutions video. In this video, I am trying to decide on the next hero I want to take. And actually, I ran into a tier list, which is why I've decided I'm going to take another hero. Right now, my Storm is at 100, my Captain America is stuck at 81, and my Spider-Man is quickly climbing up to 45. And next is trying to figure out which hero I want. I was hoping, waiting, wishing that they would drop like Black Panther or something. I think they're going to drop Falcon. But at this moment right now, I'm trying to decide who would be the best option for me to take starting the game out. So, and this is all because I went and checked the tier list. Can you take 2 storms? I don't think you can take 2 storms. All right, so anyway, and now here's the thing. So I went and I saw this tier list. And this tier list basically has Iron Man and Cap at S tier, Captain Marvel and Doctor Strange at A tier, Black Widow, Spider-Man, and Star-Lord at B, and then Storm at C. Now, I am immediately going to discount this tier list, and that is because, not because of, well, how do I put it? One, I found like 3 tier lists. And in fact, maybe instead of discounting it, I'll just put all of them in the links below, just so you guys can go and see it. And I'm not going to go through these guys' articles because they worked really hard on it. And so I'm not going to read them out here to you. Like, go check out the articles and go give them a, I don't know, a like. How do you even do it with articles? Just give them a view. I guess views are good for them. But anyway, so going through this tier list, I was immediately like, well, wait, what? I don't agree. And then I went through and read, and I didn't like the descriptions. Like, he gave a description of the character themselves, who Captain America is, Iron Man is, but like one sentence as to why they are where he has them in their tier. Now, this other article that I went through has it categorized differently, but then it also goes into much further detail as to why he gave the tier rankings, as well as the 3rd tier list I found. So I'm going to basically reference these 2. Now, the problem that I have is that I am in love with Storm. Storm is my first love, as you can see here. And then I've faced a lot of Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of my favorite characters of all time, and on top of it, in this game, when I face him in PvP, he is nuts. He is incredibly hard to deal with. And then I took Cap second because Captain America wasn't ever really my favorite superhero, but then once the MCU came out and my friend Stevie like recommended some Captain America stuff to me, like he became fast one of my favorites. So in any case, as I go through this tier list, the main problem that I have as I'm sitting here trying to decide, and I will go back actually and run some Spider-Man action, just so you guys will not just have to stare at me talking as that shield spins slowly from Captain America. So we'll go ahead and start some Spider-Man action. All right, so the problem that I'm having with the tier list is, well, no, not the problem. I'm seeing it and I recognize what some of the stuff is that they're saying. And right now, if I'm being frank, from what the tier lists have, well, let's just go into it. So all 3 of the tier lists actually rank Captain America as, well, Captain America as S tier. And I can't agree with that. I think he's good. I think he's solid. I think he's an all-around solid hero in the game. He does PvP, he does PvE well. However, I'm still going to give that nod a little bit more to Storm because Storm has those AoE attacks. He doesn't really have AoE attacks like that. He is, and as one of them put, a well-rounded enough hero to see you through. But I feel as though, even though he can do solid damage, awesome damage, right now I'm stuck at a part, and I tried to go at it today like twice, where I'm stuck at a specific boss, and one of the main reasons why I can't get past this boss, I think it's his name is Laufey. The main reason I can't get past this boss is because with Storm, I was able to deliver damage while avoiding his attacks and being able to stay far away. With Cap, at a certain point, even if you want to use any of his special skills, you have to get in pretty close, and if you don't time it right, then you can't get taken out, which happens with a lot of games, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, but with Storm, I don't have to time it as much. I can do it from a distance. So Captain America being S tier, I would say A. I would really say A. And I like playing with him a lot. And I think his animations are amazing. He hits like a truck. I really do like him. But S tier is a bit much for me. However, all three of these articles agree that he is S tier. But the basics of it is that he's a well-rounded character and does well in all areas. I think that his ability to do anything in PvP is hindered when versus, AoE can do damage from a distance. Your Doctor Strange, your Spider-Man, your Storms even. I think that he's hindered in that way. He can't really compete on a PvP level if he runs into a Spider-Man or a Storm or a Doctor Strange. Like, he can compete, but if you're built strong enough, you can keep him away from you and take him out. PvE wise, So if I had to give him a rank, it'd be A tier. He's really good and really well-rounded. And that is what they're all saying. But in my view, S tier needs to be godlike. You know what I mean? Like, S tier needs to be like one of those game-changing, he controls the game kind of things. And he is capable of doing everything in the game for you very, very well. However, that's A tier to me. S tier is best of the best at the very top. No questions asked. Now, in these two tier lists that I'm going to keep going, the next in the S tier, one is Doctor Strange and one is Captain Marvel. I disagree with Captain Marvel a little bit, not because of anything in terms of my own personal experience, but after watching a video from Darth, Microtransactions, and by virtue of this tier list itself, Captain Marvel is described as difficult to control, which makes me think that's automatically a minus to me. Like, if you're gonna have to struggle through the early game content with Captain Marvel, then is it S tier if she requires so much to get used to it? Doctor Strange, on the other hand, from what I understand, is just a more powerful version of Storm. His AoE attacks are much more powerful. So, like, that is who I'm leaning towards taking as my next hero, because I do like those AoE attacks. I am a huge fan of AoE attacks, especially in this game with all the waves. So Doctor Strange is where I'm leaning towards. That's where I'm leaning towards taking my next hero with Captain Marvel. From what I understand, at the end of the game, she's a boss, she's a beast, and she can lay down a huge amount of damage. However, in the beginning, it's just very hard to get used to her. So that is the debate that's my, like, I guess, review of her without having reviewed her. And at a certain point, I'm going to have to take her, and I'm going to see what it's all about. But even on this tier list that I'm seeing now, where Captain Marvel and Captain America are both S tier, in his A tier, he has Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange, at minimum, on all of these lists, is A tier or S tier. So they kind of tend to agree on that. This other list, the one that I was going to discount, has Captain Marvel A tier. They all have, and I guess A tier I can understand if she's dealing damage like that, but the idea that she's hard to control, especially in a mobile aspect, just doesn't ring well to me. Iron Man being A tier, it's hard for me to agree with that. He can fly and he can do damage, and all of these lists have him as A tier, with the exception of one I'm discounting. They have him as A tier. Both of these lists have him as A tier, and he deals damage. But the problem that I have with him, like I said before, a lot of his damage he does have AoE attacks, but not as good in my view as Storm and Doctor Strange. And again, this is coming from the aspect of I haven't played with him yet. This is me going versus him, having dealt with him in PvP or watching him in PvE battles. PvP, he's easy to take care of. He's easy to dispense of. And whenever you have his weapons, like when he's trying to go at you with his special ability or his ultimate ability, I can just dodge it 9 times out of 10, and then he's stuck in that position, and I can go around him and then take him out from there. So, like, I'm not in agreement with it. However, Spider-Man, I'm already in agreement that he is A tier, if not S tier. Like, A tier in the sense of, from what I understand, he's hard to control. So in PvP, that's going to be a problem. But that's the same as it goes with Captain Marvel. I would put Captain Marvel in the A tier as well. If you're difficult to control, but you're very powerful in the game, it's A tier. Like, S tier needs to be your Doctor Strange. Easy to control and devastating when it comes to dealing damage and AoE damage or single point. Iron Man may have like great devastating single point damage, which from what I understand is just good, not great. However, let's say it's great. Let's say it's amazing. He still isn't going to compare to Doctor Strange, because a lot of his attacks are just like single target, not AoE. So that's where my views are with the top, like the S and the A tier characters. With Black Widow, I'm not even gonna get into it because I haven't faced her enough. Like I faced her in PvP, and PvP Black Widow demolished my Storm. Every time I get to it, demolished my Storm. And then as far as Storm's ranking, Storm has been on this A tier list, is also been on the C tier list, and then on this other one, it is B tier. She is all over the place. And I think a large part of that is due to how you build her. The main complaint is that she doesn't deal as much damage as Doctor Strange. She has basically all the same abilities in terms of AoE attacks, etc., except that she's just not as strong as him, which makes me want to lean towards A tier. If Doctor Strange is S tier, which I'm counting him as S tier, and actually, as we get through with this fight with Nebula, I am, oh, let's go ahead and do it in a cool way. Boom. Are we still fighting Nebula? What's going on here? Is she still alive? Yeah, she's still alive. But as I'm thinking about it, if I think Doctor Strange is the only S tier character, if he is Storm, but more powerful, and I love using Storm and I think Storm is incredible, then doesn't it make sense for me to take on Doctor Strange? So I think as soon as we go ahead and clear this out with Spidey, oh, Nebula's not happy about that. Neither is Thanos. In any case, so I think we're all done with this mission here. Going to return to Omega Flight, take a sip out of my Ninja coffee mug. But in my view, and as you guys are probably saying it now, in view of what I have experienced already, as much as I love Storm, I would see her as an A tier, not an S tier, because I would agree that the damage just isn't doing a whole lot. Captain America hits like a truck. He definitely does. But then I would put him in A tier as well, just because his AoE, he doesn't have any real AoE attacks that are fantastic and great. So far, I would put Spider-Man in S tier because he seems incredible. Like he has AoE attacks, he has melee attacks, he has single point, like it's or single target. Like he seems amazing. So like I don't get why he isn't in the S tier, aside from, well, no, aside from the fact, from what I understand, that he's difficult to handle, like he's difficult to control. I guess that would be the reason. That's the reason why I'm putting Captain Marvel a step below. So like to me, the only S tier character in this game right now is Doctor Strange. Am I out of my mind? Should I take the Hydra one? He just looks like he's cold in that one. I like the original one, right? Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and add Doctor Strange. Caution, hero added to the squad cannot be removed, so choose carefully. I'm choosing carefully. Doctor Strange. I just did a whole video on it, so I definitely chose carefully. So Doctor Strange will not be worked on at the moment. I'm gonna bring him in later. Go ahead and try to get past this part with Captain America. Try to finish him up to level 100. Then get my Spider-Man going, hopefully level 80. Once I get Spider-Man level 80, then I'll start on my Doctor Strange. So those are my views. Basically, I think Doctor Strange is the only S tier character in the game. He is relatively easy to control and is one of the more powerful damage dealers in the game. Captain America, as much as I love him, is A. Storm is A. Spider-Man is A. Captain Marvel is A. The only trash hero I would say would be Star-Lord. I would say he's C or trash, however you want to categorize it. And Black Widow, I'm tempted to say B. But those are without experience. So, in any case, thank you guys for watching. I drop Marvel Future Revolutions videos every Tuesday, Thursday, DC Legends videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Raid Shadow Legends videos weekly. So please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, hit subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. And I'll see you next time.